All right, today we are going to talk about skip counting, butterfly, and simplifying. So, we're going to talk about how to use these strategies to compare different fractions. So, this is going to be really super helpful for us when we're multiplying and dividing fractions and looking for equivalent answers. All right, so again, we have three strategies: skip counting, butterfly, and simplify. And I'm going to show you how to use each strategy for the same problem. Okay? So it says, which of the following is equivalent to 8 over 12? So our keyword here is equivalent. Equivalent does, in fact, mean equal. Okay? So I'm looking for a fraction that is equal to 8/12. Okay? It could be a smaller reduced fraction, or it could be a larger fraction, but in the end, they will end up being equivalent. Okay? So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to solve with skip counting first. So skip counting is basically just counting by that number. So for 8, I would do 8, 16, 24, 32, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're actually going to skip count our answer choices. Okay, so I'm going to skip count my answer choices. And again, I'm trying to see if they equal 8 over 12. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one. Well, the first thing that I'm going to notice is that 12 over 8 is literally the opposite of 8 over 12. It's the reciprocal of 8 over 12. What they did is they flipped it. And we know in sixth grade math that order matters. And so you can't just flip the fraction over and it still be equal. Okay, so this one is an automatic Joe Schmo. I'm going to label it as a Joe. Okay, that is the reciprocal, but that's not what they're asking for. They're asking for it to be equivalent. Equivalent is equal or the same. Okay, it can't be the same if 8 is on top here, but 12 is on top here. So this is a Joe Schmo. Don't fall for that one. So the next one we're going to try is B, which is 2/3. So I'm literally going to start with 2/3. And I'm just going to count by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's really as far as I need to go because the top number on the fraction I'm trying to match is an 8. Okay, the bottom I'm going to count by 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12. So again, I'm going to stop there because the bottom number I need to match is 12. So what I need to check for is, did both the top and the bottom match? Okay, so here's my 8 and my 12. Did that match the answer that I was looking for? Yes. So B is the equivalent fraction for 8 over 12. Okay? And again, I don't need to keep going because I have already proven mathematically that this is equivalent to this by skip counting. So all of these fractions are actually equal. 2/3 is equal to 4/6 is equal to 6/9 is equal to 8/12. Okay? All right, so let's try that same problem, and now let's use the butterfly method. So the butterfly method will actually help you determine if it's greater than, less than, or equal to. You'll be able to use any of these symbols. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with answer choice A. Again, answer choice A is the same fraction, but it's the reciprocal, it's flipped over. Okay, and I know that in order to be equivalent or the same, you can't flip the bottom and the top. So this is a Joe Schmo. Again, we said that already, but I'm just telling you again, that is a Joe Schmo. All right, so let's try not skip counting, butterfly with this second fraction. So I'm going to take my original fraction of 8 over 12, okay, and I am going to put it next to this answer choice, okay? I'm actually going to put it next to every answer choice, okay? And then all I have to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to make my butterfly wings. Okay, and I'm going to do that for all the answer choices that I have left. Okay, and then I'm just going to multiply. So 12 times 2 is 24. So up here I'm going to write 24. And 8 times 3 is 24. So for these two, again, we already determined this was the equivalent fraction. So I would put an equal sign in between those two fractions. Okay, and again, this was my correct answer, but I do want to show you how it would work with these other symbols. So on this one, I'm going to do 36 times 8. All right, so I need to come over here and say, okay, 36 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 4 is 28. So this one's going to be 288. And then you're going to go the other direction, 16 times 12. And I'm going to say that's going to be 192. So you notice that when I multiply corner to corner, I put the answer on top. And the reason for that is now I can compare the top numbers. Which one is bigger, 192 or 288? 288 is greater, so I'm going to make my alligator mouth, my inequality, eat that 288, which means that this fraction, 8 over 12, is larger than this fraction. So again, it's not equivalent, but it does tell us if it is greater than or less than. So I'd mark that out. And again, showing you that same strategy, 4 times 8 is 32. And 12 times 2 is 24. So again, the 32 is larger and therefore would be eaten. So the 8/12 is again larger than the 2/4. So not the correct answer because it's not equivalent, but it does again tell us which one's bigger and which one's smaller. Okay. And then the last method that we're going to use is simplifying, which means we're going to just take our original fraction and we're going to divide out a 2, we're going to divide out a 3, and we're going to divide out a 5, or we're going to try to anyway. And we're going to see what we can take out. So I'm going to start with a 2. Can I take a 2 out of both 8 and 12? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and divide a 2 out of both the top and the bottom. So 8 divided by 2 would be 4. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay? I have to continue, so I ask myself again, can I divide out a 2? And the answer is again, yes, so I keep going. Okay, 4 divided by 2 is again 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I ask myself again, can I divide out a 2? Well, this time the answer is no, because I can't take a 2 evenly out of a 3. Okay? So I move on to the 3. Can I divide out a 3? Well, I can from the bottom, but I can't take a 3 away from the top. Okay, then I move on to my 5. Can I take a 5 out of either of these numbers? No, which means that this is fully simplified. So again, that matches our answer here. It matches our answer. This is our final answer up here. Answer choice B was equivalent to 8 over 12. So we've used 3 different methods. We used skip counting our answer choices. We used our butterfly method to determine equal, greater than, or less than. And we used simplify. And we got the same answer no matter which one we used. So those are your options for comparing fractions.